Hawaii's famed Max Holloway is the most spectacular fighter you can find this side of the globe. Where you can see his most magnificent display of power was the fire goddess Pele. The date is April 13th, 2024. And for the first time in over 100 years, a violent knockout is underway in Hawaii's 5th island, Las Vegas, Nevada.
UFC 300, on many accounts, was the greatest UFC event we have ever seen, was one of the most fleshed out cards to ever grace the sport. Unfortunately, before the event, it was not seen as such a spectacular card, with many MMA pundits calling it underwhelming.
I'm fucking sick and tired of this shit. Okay? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Once again, it's because the UFC could do better, and it's not hard for them to do that, okay? It's not hard. It takes a little bit of effort, and you got to be in tune with what the fans want.
What was universally agreed on, though, was that Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje was the people's main event, and one that was expected to deliver. Justin, the high-flying highlight reel, was coming off a spectacular win over Dustin, the Diamond Poirier. And following that performance of the night, he welcomed Max blessed Holloway, who was coming off a bonus-deserving performance as well over the Korean Zombie. Max Holloway was raised in the UFC from 20 years old. All in all, this was shaping up to be a spectacular night of fights, which surely was unable to disappoint. Max early on was able to debilitate Justin with a spinning back kick that destroyed Justin's nose. From here, Max was able to outstrike Justin with distance management, smart kicks that kept Justin at bay with blitzing combos that constantly rocked Justin. Max was in the driver's seat most of the fight, but let's not forget, Justin was the first person to drop Max. Not so fun fact, since being dropped by Justin, Max has been dropped in every single one of his fights following. This extraordinary performance was capped off with one of the greatest moments in the history of sport. The point down. A gesture from a fighter who's clearly up on points and wants to give a chance to the losing fighter, being an all-out shootout in the center of the octagon. An oftentimes imitated gesture but rarely replicated. Up on all the judges' scorecards with all the cards in his hands, Max would gesture towards the center with Justin happily welcoming himself. With no words needed, they would throw down like our ancestors hundreds of years ago. If you needed to sum up why MMA is the greatest sport of all time in as little as 10 seconds, this would be all you needed to present. Two men from their own world with their own problems deciding for some sick, twisted reason to leave everything they have on the line for all of us to see. It takes a very particular type of person to participate in something like that. For Max as a child, it wouldn't take long to see he has been risking it all since he first saw the beautiful island from which he's from. Jerome Max Kalei Holloway was born Wanawe, Hawaii, to an all too unfortunate environment that was destroying many Hawaiian communities during Max's upbringing.
New at 6 tonight, a recent national survey ranks Hawaii 5th in the nation for meth use by people aged 12 and older. A campaign to fight that problem launched a second wave of TV and radio ads today to spread the message about the highly addictive drug. Organizers also revealed the results of a study on whether the campaign is making a difference.
Drugs, specifically crystal meth. Jerome Max Holloway was the son to parents who were afflicted with that addiction.
My mom and my dad, I knew they was heavy drug users, and then my dad would always beat up my mom. I think so that her drugs was like her medicine, like would calm her stress, but that's why she noticed that our lives, she put our lives in front of hers and gave us to our grandma. she didn't give up on us, so like that pushed me more not to give up anything.
As a result, Max would spend a lot of time with his grandparents, where before joining his current team, he described himself as akin to a certain knuckle-headed ninja.
Naruto, come back here! When I get my hands on you! You crossed the line this time, Naruto!
Give it up! You're just bent because you don't have the guts to do what I do you, losers? Wannabes? You'll never catch me!
Participating in many forms of attention-seeking behavior, leading to a career in throwing hands. Before the fight against Justin Gaethje, at the UFC 300 press conference, Dana would raise the bonuses to $300K.
And they also said for this special event, they would love to see the bonuses raised from $50,000. Can we do something special for this Saturday?
What did you say?
Both guys want bonuses raised from $50K for this special card. Can we make this happen?
What should it be raised to?
3 times.
100,000.
300, go 3 times.
300.
300! 300!
300, it's done.
Let's
go!
Which, for God knows why, made Aljamain Sterling quite excited. And to many people's surprise, unfortunately, Aljamain Sterling did not receive performance or fight of the night bonuses. Some call it a robbery, some call it a little more extreme, maybe a little bit of racing. It's a lot that goes into it, but unfortunately, though, he would not receive said bonuses. After flatlining Justin in a quote-unquote exhibition, Max would receive Fight of the Night and Performance of the Night and his show and win money. Max took home well over $1 million in a single night. Max isn't someone who tries to sell himself to the masses. He promotes a realness and authenticity and a way of life that is true to oneself. Gladiators didn't carry a scale. This mentality, as in line with the weaponry used by said gladiators, is a double-edged sword. Ilia Topuria, El Matador, the man who knocked out Volkanovski in under 2 rounds, the undefeated Spaniard, who is the other end of the boxing spectrum, to say of Max. Holloway has many records. One of the most notable is having the highest significant strikes in a fight and in the UFC period. Ilia, on the other hand, is far more time efficient, you can say. High finishing rate, flatline KOs, and less volume in exchange for more accurate, sharper punches. This was a striking fan's dream. And where better for an American versus Spain boxing specialist super fight than the United Arab Emirates? No. Okay. Well, 6 months later, on October 26, Max Holloway would make his final walk at 145, competing for the belt he held for 3 years. Max seemed a stylistic mismatch for Ilia, with 5-round cardio, volume, kicks, and a never-cracked-before chin. Many predicted 145 to be a game of rock, paper, scissors, with Volk beating Max, Max beating Ilia, and Ilia beating Volk. And a game of merry-go-round was the belt. And while it didn't end up like that, Max vs. Ilia was must-see TV, with all aspects of MMA from head to toe. With violence on the forefront, Ilia would offer a duel for the center when Max would decline. Max would use kicks very effectively against Ilia, with Ilia struggling to get comfortable standing in front of Max. Max was using a lot of checks hooks on Ilia and sneaky uppercuts when applicable, where Ilia was looking for a counter over the top of Max's punches, while mixing in takedowns to punish Max's use of kicks. As the fight went on, Ilia would find the calf kick and slowly get more and more comfortable at the mid-range with body shots, jabs, and better timing. I almost heard the Jaws scene playing as the fight went on, with Ilia getting closer and closer with big shots until he rocked Max, pushed him to the fence, then unloaded combos on him until he put him down for good. Max was having a lot of success in this fight, and was looking to be one of the best looking Maxes we've ever seen, with kicks from calf to temple, and clean boxing that only kept up with Ilya but outdid him in many exchanges. But Ilya only needs one, and for as much as I could see Max Holloway beating Ilya if they fought 10 times, Max needs a perfect fight, and Ilya needs a perfect punch. But Max's warrior spirit against Ilya can be used against him. Max was at a crossroads, not just with Volk at 145, but now Ilya was stopping his dreams of becoming a champion in that division. He was also turning 33. Max doesn't have as much time as he used to. On the other hand, Dustin just came off his final title shot against Islam Makhachev and was looking for one last dance. Conveniently, the UFC was going to Louisiana, and Dustin needed a fitting opponent for retirement. Now, Max is a very nice, God-fearing man with a beautiful family and is incredibly respectful. I mean, after sliming out Korean Zombie in front of his friends, family, fans, brutally in horrific fashion, he gave TKZ nothing but praise. But putting the opportunity of a happy retirement in the hands of Max Holloway is the equivalent of giving John Jones a bottle of alcohol and car keys and not expecting a pregnant woman to leave crying. Max is a fan of revenge, from Justin Gaethje exposing how blessed Holloway is.
As a towel holder here, you never know what to expect. Oh, and Gaethje now.
To getting back on Dustin after not only taking away his winning streak at 155 in their last fight, but almost breaking his arm in his debut back in 2012 at 145. Max was overall all class leading up to this fight, giving Dustin his flowers and almost seemed relieved to be on the B side of this event and solely focusing on the fight. Max in this fight though seemed to fight like the kid with a chip on his shoulder he used to be. He had spite on all of his shots, and after dropping Dustin in the first round, he would run up on him like he just dropped him in Arc Raiders.
Oh, I died from falling, bro. Fuck!
Max basically copy and pasted his performance he had against Justin with some slight adjustments. Max would spend a lot of energy investing into the body. Due to Poirier's commitment to his guard, he often leaves himself open to specific shots and almost seems overconfident when guarding, as Max would hurt Dustin anytime he'd land clean. But just like in the Justin fight, Max would get dropped by Dustin, where Dustin would jump a silly gilly, leading to a highlight for the diamond. Coming into the fifth, Max would be up at least 3 rounds and was clearly winning the fight. In a poetic fashion, Max would stay safe for most of the round as they both subconsciously agreed to throw down in the center in the last 10 seconds. Dustin historically has been in many wars, from Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker, and even Max himself. But Dustin seemed to almost be forced into these wars, as Dustin seemed to be a natural brawler who was worked on for years to be a very technical boxer. And in this point down, you can see things get out of hand really quick, with Max landing 5 punches for every one of Dustin's, and seemingly unshakable, as Dustin would chin check Max to no avail, as Dustin would cut his losses and clinch, waiting for the chance at the judges' graces in a potential yet naive win on the scorecards. Overall, this was a clean win with Max, announcing his stay at 155 with an eye for the champion. Max Holloway is someone who has had such a legendary career, coming up to 14 years in the UFC with the highs of a defending champion, multiple title runs, with elite wins. If he makes it to a lightweight undisputed belt, he will cement himself as truly one of the greatest fighters of all time. And if he's able to get past Charles Olivera, he will have 3 of the best lightweights in his back pocket in the last 5 to 10 years, potentially beating all of them in impressive fashion. Olives is someone who has a history with Max. Charles injuring himself in their first fight, a decision that left a bad taste in many of the MMA fandom. Both have a lot at stake, with both of their careers coming to an end. This fight is what will keep them in title contention, especially with Ilya not staying long. Either way, whether it be Charles for the BMF belt or Ilya for the undisputed, Max will take the belt back in blood. Blessed.